stand by.
Hello everyone, it's Jacob here, and today I'm going to be giving you the stats on my fire and basically a deck setup, and then do look forward to questing videos in Mirage. As you can see, I have my house kind of decorated over in that general area, but that's not what we're focusing on. We're going to focus on my stats. So what we're going to do, so basically, the main three pieces of gear are usually predictable for fire. So the hat is obviously going to be Malister's hat. A lot of people will go for Crocs. It's not really a goal for me. Malister's hat is good enough. But the robe, there's times when I question using Rattlebone's robe for school. But here, as you can see, yes, we downgrade in accuracy. But here, I find it better to use Bone Smasher's robe of flame over Malister's robe, because yes, I do get an increase in accuracy, but in certain decks, especially my PvP deck, in certain setups, I have double AC jewels. So there's no reason really that 6 accuracy drop means nothing, basically, with my jewels and some jewels I got installed and stuff. The boots, I'm using Boots of Malister's Ire. When needed, I will use the Titan Warrior, but I won't really use these really until I really want to try and get the Majoris ones, but that probably won't happen anytime soon. But for now, I use Malister's boots. The wand I'm using is the Aquiline Charioteer Lance. I did use Hades Flamemaker for the longest time, but then I got this Charioteer Lance out of pure luck in a pack on my Storm. So yeah, and then I got the Black Jewel on the socket, which is a really good touch-up. It gives me 112 block from here, and then 105 crit. I do have the Death Metal Skull in my my shared bank, but I mean, I'm not going to use it. The Maycast on here is way better. Plus, I mean, I think I get Pierce upgrade on this one too. The theme I'm using is the Edge of the Raging Daystar. I do not have Morgantz, which I think this one is better. I think Morgantz gives outgoing healing, this gives incoming, which is better. As you can see, my jewels are not exactly up to date. I need to get another Pierce jewel for this theme, and then I'll basically be touched up. But for now, that 12 crit isn't too bad. And I got the accuracy jewel on there, and I need to update my health jewel. The amulet I'm using is Morgantz Dark Charm. This is actually something I farmed for a long time. It took me forever to get this amulet. It just, Morgantz wouldn't want to drop it, but I did get it finally. I need to open up the jewels, and then I'll hopefully get another block jewel or something and put it in there, or a stun resistance when it comes to PvP. But yeah, that's the one I'm using there. Plus, I just love the Fireblade cards. I could use Rasputin's if I decided to farm for it, but I won't, because honestly, Ballisted Ward means nothing to me. I don't need it really on here. I'll take those 2 Fireblade cards. The ring I'm using is the Alpha and Omega ring. Yes, there is excuse that little notification there, but I'm using the Alpha and Omega ring. There could be other rings I could use. I could farm for a damage ring that I could use, which honestly, this is just my energy ring. It's the only reason I got it. And yes, I put a 6% Pierce jewel on there because it took me forever to get the Alpha and Omega ring. But for now, I'm using the Alpha and Omega ring. I got a 4% Pierce jewel on there. I could use a 6, but 4% is better than none on here. The pet I'm using, I'm still working on a pet, but this one has served me well for a while. It served me since this fire was level 40, is when I had this pet transferred over here, because that's when my Storm was 60, and I had gotten a better pet on there. But yeah, I use this. Of course, the Stormblade is canceled out in all my decks because I don't need it. I'm gonna get 15% damage from it. I could get a better pet, but I do have 2 heals on it. which is pretty good. Amount doesn't really matter. I don't have anything that increases my stats or anything. The deck I'm using is the Walrus Spread of Frenzy. This is what I use for my questing. I need to farm for Minax, I believe. The one from Minax, which I mean shouldn't be too hard. Minax is fairly easy to farm. And then there's the one from Rasputin, which I could get, or Omens. I don't know if Omens is good. But yeah, that's the gear I'm using. Let's go into the deck setup. I cleared my deck for the sake of this. Now, this deck is going to be set up specifically for soloing. I will be soloing a huge bunch of Mirage on this character. So I need to set up defense as well as some offense. So we're going to start off here in the Fire School with this. This deck is actually going to be fairly large for this. So do stay tuned. First we're going to start off with 5 Fireblade cards. Fireblade is obviously you're going to need it. Honestly, I'd say put in Meteor Strike. Just put in 2. You don't know when that bowl will fail, and when Fire Dragon might not show, or you don't have enough. Just use Meteor Strike for that. Put in 4 Fire Dragon. I do use Fire Dragon a lot, even though I have Bull, because there's no guarantee you will get the Shadow Pip, so I don't use Raging Bull that often. But yeah, but speaking of Raging Bull, put in 5 Raging Bull, and then don't put in Sun Serpent. Sun Serpent I used all the time in Chrysalis and Polaris, but I can't use it in Mirage really, because it's not that the bosses have too much health. I can kill the bosses with the first hit easily. It's the second hit I'd have to like trap all the rest of the bosses to do that. The rest of the minions to do that, or have a crap ton of blades, which this deck setup isn't really specifically designed for that. But yeah, these are the only hits you will have in, so do use them sparingly. Going into the Ice School, some minions stun, so put in 3 stun blocks. Now that I think about it, this deck might not be as huge as I initially thought. Put in Max Tower Shield. I can only hold 5, with this being a deck from Polaris. I can only hold 5 of them. But do hold on to Tower Shields. Those are the only shields I really put in here, because my defense on here is decent. We'll go over the all-around stats after we're done with this. Storm Spell, I have these for... I was being cheeky in PvP. Same with the Myth. Life heals. Put in, like, say, 4 Fairy. And actually going back to the fire spells, if you do not have the pips to cast Pixie, put in maybe a Link or something. That'll actually do quite a bit of heal back. But actually I could also use Power Link, which yes, in the initial it'll cost up to this, but it in a long way it could heal a little bit. But take those out. Actually, you don't need those. Keep in Pixie, that's what I'm doing. Put in Max, that's what I'm going to be doing. Death spells, I have Faint. Now Faint actually is going to be needed, because the minions here are mini bosses. They have so much health in Mirage. So I'm going to put in 4 Faints, and then I'm going to put in some Potes when we get to the Astral spells for bosses and stuff. I don't normally need them, but you know. Balanced spells, Elemental Blade, put in 5. Put in 5 Elemental Blades. You can put in 4, but this deck actually may be able to take up half of this row, if not a little more. But yeah, I'm putting in 5. And then put in 2 Reshuffle. You never know when you're going to need Reshuffle. But Astral Spells, put in 3 Potent Trap. Put in 4 Sharpened Blade. And then put in Max Epic. And that'll meet up the demands of this and whatever. I'm putting in 3 Colossal just in case. Colossal's still just as good. There's only 25 damage off of that, which honestly in the long run could save you. But Furnace, put in 3 of those, 4 of those, and then that's basically all I use in this deck. So yeah, it is a larger deck. Treasure cards, I'm not really going to be using any. No need for treasure cards in this deck. And then Shadow